Saucy Sean's Fine Eats, where we make real food for real people. In this episode, I've got my daughter Sarah on this side of the camera where she belongs, and she's going to make a cake. She made this for her mom for Mother's Day, and she's going to make it for us, and we're going to see how it goes. So let's see what happens here.
Actually, technically, I made it for Grandma for her birthday. It just happens that we have a lot of birthdays at the same time as Mother's Day, so we were celebrating them all together.
Right. It was Grandma's cake for her birthday. Okay. So Sarah's going to make this cake. What's this cake called?
This is an orange almond cake. It is gluten-free, which is pretty cool, and it is delicious.
It's even dairy-free, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yes. Yeah. It was very good, by the way. Yes.
Yeah. Alright, so the first step in making this cake is to get a couple of oranges, whole oranges. The entire orange is going into this cake, which means that you want to do a little bit of prep work before you start to get them ready. The white part on the inside of oranges, if you've ever tasted that, it's really quite bitter. So in order to make it less bitter, what you actually do is you boil them. So I have already done that with these oranges. I can actually squeeze them. They're super soft because they've been boiled.
Ooh, they are. They're warm still.
Yeah, they are. It was quite a while ago we boiled them, but they're still hot. So yeah, you boil these oranges just in a pot of water. You put them in a pot of cold water that is covering them. They float, but just make sure you have lots of water. And you can boil them either 3 times for 10 minutes each, which is supposed to help reduce the bitterness even more. Or what I did today is I boiled them 1 time for 40 minutes.
40 minutes in boiling water?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, 40 minutes
40
of
minutes.
boiling water.
Oh, sorry.
And it just takes away the bitterness and makes them nice and sweet so that they're really delicious in the cake. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to really roughly chop these up. I believe that I got seedless oranges, which is very helpful. If you have oranges with seeds, you are going to want to remove the seeds. But, thankfully, I was smarter than that. So, we're just going to chop them into little chunks. Are you saying mean things about me?
I'm saying my daughter.
Ah, I see. I don't know how to use this food processor, so you might have to show me.
It's really hard.
Is it?
Yes.
So, we're going to chop them into little chunks, and then we're going to throw the entire orange into the food processor.
Ready?
Yep. You were lying about it being really hard.
I was being sarcastic. There's a difference.
So, if you have a nice big... I see. If you have a nice big food processor, you can... Actually, I don't know how to use this.
Hang on.
Thank you.
If you have a nice big food processor, you can do it all...
In the food processor! That's what I'm trying to say.
But Saucy Sean only has a small food processor because he doesn't actually use it much. I don't know why, I just don't.
Yeah.
So we're going to do the second orange now, same thing, wash, rinse, repeat?
Yep. Yep, exact same thing, just chop it into some chunks and shove it in and blend it up. You want to process it until it has got rid of most of the chunks and sort of has the consistency of jam. Not Jan, that's my husband. Please don't put him in a food processor. So we've got our orange in a bowl. All we do now is we add the rest of our stuff. So it is, how much white sugar? 1 1/4
cups.
1 1/4 cups of white sugar, 1 1/4 teaspoons of baking powder, and 2 3/4 cups of almond meal or ground almond. This isn't almond flour. You probably could use almond flour if you wanted to, but this is literally just almonds that have been ground up. This is what makes it gluten-free. There is no flour in this cake, just almond.
That sounds nutty.
It is very nutty.
Okay.
If you're allergic to nuts, I don't recommend eating this.
No. Especially if it's almonds you're allergic to.
Yeah, you might have some problems if you do that.
Mm-hmm.
You mix it all up.
With care and love.
Always. How would you even make anything in a kitchen without love? It would just be sad.
Some people do it. It's horrible.
Oh, I bet. So you just mix it up until you start to see the dry stuff get all orangey.
Technical terms again.
Yes. Always. Anything's a technical term if you declare it as such, right?
Sure.
I think so.
That was a technical term.
All right, and once you've got it mixed up a fair bit, you're gonna add some eggs. This takes a ton of eggs, 6 of them.
It's not a literal ton, it's a figurative ton. 6 does not equal a ton.
Depends on the size of the egg.
Well, it'd have to be very big eggs.
Bigger than ostrich eggs, even.
Much bigger than ostrich eggs, because a ton is like, what, 2,000 pounds? And you divide that by 6, and that's, 2,000, 10, 6, 3. That's over 300 pounds each. That's over 330 pounds each, in fact.
Dinosaur eggs?
I don't know. How big were they?
Depends on the dinosaur, I'm sure.
Probably. T-Rex, maybe?
Maybe.
He was big.
All right, we've got the eggs in.
Does someone out there know how much a dinosaur egg weighs? We're just curious. That would be a big cake if you had a ton of eggs.
Yeah, it would basically just be an omelet.
Well, not if you, but you'd have to add in proportionately as much other ingredients as well.
I suppose.
Otherwise, yeah, it would just be scrambled eggs with a bit of gunk inside.
Yeah. Probably wouldn't be very good. They would taste kind of orangey. Would be weird.
Well, you probably wouldn't even taste that many eggs. Think about it.
That's true.
This would just be little bits and pieces floating in the occasional pool of them.
Yeah. So now you just give it a nice big good mix with the eggs inside. As you can see, this cake is really quick to make, which is pretty sweet. If you don't have a lot of time, other than boiling the oranges, it's nice and fast. All right, and once it's all mixed up, you pour it into our pan. We are using whatever size this is.
I don't know, it's 8x6 or so.
We're using an 8x6 or so pan. The recipe recommends 8-inch or 9-inch, probably round, but I made it in a 9x13 when I made it on Mother's Day.
For a birthday.
Yeah. I actually cut it and iced it in the shape of a tulip. It was very pretty.
It was.
Though.
But you don't even need to ice this cake.
Yeah, that's
really...
what I thought. I did the icing because I wanted it to be pretty, but the cake is, I think, better without icing.
Yeah.
Maybe like a glaze would be good on this.
Yes.
An orange glaze.
What she said.
We're going to take this cake, because it's a little thicker, it will probably bake for about the same amount of time. So we're going to be putting it in an oven at 320 degrees Fahrenheit.
Weird number, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Mm-hmm. 320 degrees Fahrenheit for about an hour.
Yeah, it looks like that's 160 degrees Celsius. It's probably some weird metric conversion. Yeah. Well, here we are. We took the cake out of the oven and used the toothpick method, right?
I sure did.
What's the toothpick method?
You stab it with a toothpick and then pull the toothpick out and look and see if it leaves any guts behind. You're looking to see if there's any little clumps on the toothpick.
If there's no guts, then it's done.
Yes.
Cool. So we've let it cool for half an hour here, give or take. And we're going to try some.
Yeah! So this is a very moist cake, as you might be able to guess by the fact that 2 full oranges and 6 eggs and no flour went into it. Just gonna cut it up into some little pieces here.
She's using a pie server for cake.
Yeah, well, it was what I could find in your kitchen.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, smells good. I
Smells
think
like
maybe
oranges.
a glaze on here. I don't really think the icing worked.
No, the icing
But,
was just to look pretty.
I'm pretty sure it's going to be really good just plain like this.
Mm-hmm, it is.
And I think a little glaze would be maybe
Yeah,
good.
like an orangey glaze.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't need anything.
It really doesn't. It's a very, very sweet cake. Very moist, like you can see there. It's really wet. It's so good. It tastes like oranges. You don't even notice the flavor of the almonds.
Hmm.
Or the cyanide.
I knew she was trying to kill me. Anyway, Sarah, thanks for joining us today on Saucy Sean's Fine Eats.
Hmm.
We hope you guys enjoyed this.
Yes.
We encourage you to like us on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube, thumbs up on YouTube, watch the whole thing. It helps us. Share with your friends and your enemies. We're not picky. Even your family.
They might be either.
They could be all three. Thanks again for watching. I hope you guys have a good day. Talk to you later.